Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com to talk about the 2011 NoDQ Year-End Awards. This is the 12th annual awards for NoDQ, so I'm pretty excited to be talking to you guys about this. The voting period is from December 2010 to November 2011, so keep that in mind. You can submit your nominations to nodqmisc@yahoo.com. And what I'm going to do right now is go over each and every category and give my personal picks, but keep in mind that it's not what I think, it's what you think. So make sure you submit your nominations, and let's get right down to the first category we have here, which is Superstar of the Year. Pretty self-explanatory. Superstar of the Year is the person who was the biggest star in wrestling in 2011. And you can look at this in many ways. It should be an all-around thing. This is somebody who had great promos, great matches, great storylines, so on and so forth. Last year's winner was The Miz, and rightfully so. The Miz had a great 2010. He won the WWE title. He built up a lot of momentum over the course of the year, so I'm not really arguing about The Miz in 2010. Now, as far as 2011 goes, my personal pick is going to have to be CM Punk. CM Punk had the big promo earlier this year, and his career really, he went to the next level after that. And he had the big match at Money in the Bank with John Cena, arguably the biggest pay-per-view of the year, arguably the biggest match of the year. So that's my pick for Superstar of the Year. What's your pick? You can submit your nomination, nodqmisc@yahoo.com. Tag Team of the Year. Last year was the Motor City Machine Guns, but they haven't really been much of a tag team this year. So I'm just going to have to go with Beer Money by default. I mean, they were a tag team up until the end of this year, and there isn't really much competition. I mean, TNA's tag team division has traditionally been really strong, but this year not as strong, and WWE, their tag division, was really weak. So I would have to go with Beer Money by default. Finisher of the Year. The winner last year was Daniel Bryan's LaBelle Lock. I'm going to have to go with CM Punk, the Go to Sleep, just because this was CM Punk's year, and I will be surprised if he does not take most of the awards this year in the NoDQ Year-End Awards, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Announcer of the Year. Michael Cole won it last year, so that shows you the state of the WWE announcing in 2010. Now, 2011, it's hard to say. I mean, none of the announcers have been that great. You know what? I'm gonna pick, my personal pick is Booker T. Not because he's a great announcer, but because he's an entertaining announcer. And I think that, the entertainment value, it means a lot. I mean, it would be better if we had a really good play-by-play guy, but in terms of color and just being funny, Booker T did it for me, so he's my pick. Match of the Year. Last year was Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. I think that this year you have to go with CM Punk versus John Cena at Money in the Bank. I think it's a no contest there. I really don't see any other match this year that comes close to that in terms of quality. Maybe the WrestleMania match with Undertaker and Triple H, but it has to be CM Punk and John Cena. Pay-per-view of the Year. WrestleMania 26 won last year. WrestleMania has actually won every single year except for 2005 with One Night Stand, beating out WrestleMania 21. I think this year we're also going to see WrestleMania lose out. What's it going to lose out to? Money in the Bank. No question there. I think Money in the Bank, in my personal opinion, way better than WrestleMania. Better than SummerSlam, better than Survivor Series, better than Royal Rumble. I have to go Money in the Bank, no doubt about it. Breakout Star of the Year. Last year was The Miz. You could say CM Punk, but CM Punk already had a great 2009. He was already a main eventer by 2009, so I mean he had even a bigger 2011 and took him to a whole new level. But I think I'm gonna have to give the Breakout Star not to CM Punk, but rather Zack Ryder. This was Zack Ryder's year where he really broke out with the Z True Long Island story and became a major force in the wrestling business. So my pick for Breakout Star of the Year, Long Island Ice Z, Zack Ryder. Woo, 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 you know it. Speaking of that, Catchphrase of the Year. Gee, I wonder what's going to win this one. Broskies. I think Woo Woo Woo, you know what's gonna win, or you know what? I think most of the nominations are gonna be Zack Ryder catchphrases. So it might. Is it gonna be Woo Woo, you know it, or Are You Serious, Bro? I mean, what's gonna win? That's a question. Which Zack Ryder phrase is gonna win? Faction of the year. Well, TNA. It's all about the factions in TNA. So I'm gonna have to go with Immortal. I mean, we had Nexus at the very beginning of the year and the Core, but they didn't really do a whole lot. And Immortal was involved in TNA throughout the entire year, so I'm going to give it to Immortal. Let TNA have one. Comeback of the year. Last year was Kane. Man, I am not even sure who I'd give the comeback of the year to this year. I mean, there haven't really been a lot of comebacks. I mean, well, wait a minute. How stupid of me. The Rock. The Rock is the comeback of the year. I mean, he had his big return at WrestleMania as the guest host and then made his in-ring return at Survivor Series. How stupid of me to forget about The Rock. Rock easily. Headline of the year. 2010 was Bret Hart returns to WWE. This year I'm going to have to say Rock returns to WWE. Either that or CM Punk cuts a shoot promo on Raw. One or the other. I think both of those will get nominated and into the final poll, but I'm guessing that The Rock returning to WWE will win out for Headline of the Year. Female of the Year. Last year, Natalya won. I'm going to have to just go with Beth Phoenix this year just because of all the women on the WWE roster. I think she's the best of the bunch, and I mean, that's not really saying a whole lot because I don't really think the women's division is that strong, but I would give it to Beth. And also because I'm engaged to someone named Beth. So there you go. Theme song of the year. Last year was We Are One by Nexus. I'm going to have to go with CM Punk again. The Cult of Personality. Just an awesome theme song, and you know, that's my pick. I don't think there's really anything else that can touch it. Babyface of the year. John Cena won last year. I think CM Punk's going to get it. I think this is going to be Punk's year in terms of sweeping the awards. I really think Punk's going to win most of them, including Babyface of the Year. Heel of the Year. Last year it was Wade Barrett. Whew, that's a tough one. I mean, I think it's going to be close. I don't think there's going to be a clear-cut winner here. I mean, I think The Miz might get it. I could see Christian getting it. Yeah, I think it's going to come down to either Christian or The Miz. Probably The Miz. I'll go with The Miz. I don't know. Maybe I'll go with Christian. I'm torn between the two of them. Feud of the year. Last year was John Cena versus The Nexus. Did I just say The Nexus? I meant Nexus. I am going to have to go with CM Punk versus John Cena. Or I guess you could say John Cena versus The Rock, because, I mean, technically they have been feuding. It's kind of a weird feud where they haven't actually had a match. But I'll go with John Cena versus The Rock. Worst wrestler of the year. Last year was Lacey Von Erich. I don't even know where to go with this one. Oh, man. I'm not going to make a prediction for worst wrestler of the year. Oh, boy. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to that one. Worst match of the year. Last year was Bret Hart versus WrestleMania, or Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 26. I don't even know worst of the year. I mean, I try to keep the positive stuff in my mind, and I mean, that was a pretty bad match, and off the top of my head, I can't think of any really matches that were so unbearable. I guess you could say Jeff Hardy versus Sting at Victory Road, even though it was only 90 seconds, but yeah, that would be my pick. Worst match of the year. Worst pay-per-view of the year. Last year was Hardcore Justice, Victory Road, because of the 90-second main event. That would be my worst pay-per-view of the year. Worst storyline of the year. Last year was Abyss and the Hall of Fame ring. I'm going to have to say Hogan and Sting is the Joker gimmick. The Joker gimmick. That's my worst storyline of the year. I don't really know. I mean, I'm sure that there's other ones, but that's what comes off to the top of my head. And so yeah, those are my predictions. I don't really know one for worst wrestler of the year. I guess I'll just say Great Khali by default, but yeah, I don't know. All right, those are my picks. What are your picks? NoDQ, MISC at yahoo.com. You can submit your nominations for each category. If you want, submit more than one person for each category, or one match or whatever. Just send in your submissions. The voting officially starts on December 1st. So look out for that. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com. We post a new poll every day starting on December 1st. And thanks for watching the video, and thanks for checking out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. And we'll see you after Thanksgiving for more NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and YouTube.